Allez, on reprend. Donc, comme vous pouvez le voir, j'ai changé de bâton. J'ai désormais un bâton électrique. Et on a un nouvel allié, Nyoka. Et mets-toi au soleil pour voir. Voilà. On t'admire. Ce chapeau ne me plaît pas. On va t'en trouver un autre. On a quelques petites choses à faire à mon arc. Et après, on ira chercher l'informateur. Alors, un chapal. Nyoka. Ah ben, je sais. On va lui donner ça. Allez, transférer. On va voir. Allez, reste pas dans l'ombre. Ouais, je suis pas convaincu quand même. Je suis pas fan. Bon, on va rester comme ça pour le moment. Qu'est-ce que tu nous racontes, toi?
Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right? Wait, don't go just yet. I've been practicing for this. Here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the records. Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill. Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you? Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor? I got this Rizzo's Rangers tossball poster coming in on the next sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in? Thanks a bunch. Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
Ok. Ça dit quoi?
Look, I don't... Sorry, for a second I thought you were Grim. If you want to talk to the boss, she's in the back of the warehouse.
Donc le bar, on l'a déjà visité. Voilà, c'est là qu'on doit aller. Regardez-moi ce look. Bonjour. Pourquoi je peux pas?
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
Bonjour.
Well, new business turns up at last.
Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins.
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me. Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Comme moi.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself?
Je cherche l'informateur.
Out at Devil's Peak? If you're headed that far, I see you've brought the right woman for the job.
Nyoka.
Damn right.
But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for Saltuna.
Malheureusement, non.
A shame. I'd been saving a bottle of iceberg-aged whiskey for an occasion like this.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board. What can I do for you? I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff? Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
With the whole board, as a matter of fact.
Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the
Va
board's
nous donner
resources
une
and
quête.
protection for 10 years now.
So-called is right. We've got our hazards, but we're still here, damn it. The board took off without so much as a thought for the folks left behind.
Cheveux, quoi.
Dang it, Captain, that's not right. Folks on Monarch shouldn't have to suffer just because the board says so.
Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions,
Oh.
such arrangements are precarious.
On dirait que vous êtes libre. Pourquoi ne pas en profiter?
You talk like Graham.
Freedom always sounds nice, doesn't it? It makes a rather pretty slogan. But if you sit down and tally up the costs, how you provide for yourself in the absence of aid, how you protect yourself from a hostile galaxy, it starts to lose its shine.
Indeed. Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
A lot of good that'll do. They'll just find another reason to turn tail and abandon you.
Not if we secure the proper safeguards first.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's
Allez,
a
donne-moi ta
two-pronged
quête, toi.
approach. The first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended. With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful
Franchement, j'ai
ally
pas envie
on
de le
board.
faire. Hein.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance. In the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in, these days it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. Saying what which way? That's just what it's called. It's supposed to stand for something, but I forget what. Good enough. I know when to settle. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. What can I do for you? Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
Comment Messi s'est fait virer du
I've
conseil?
asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws. It's true, the board has treated us unfairly, but I'd always envisioned that things could be different. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1. As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards.
That ain't fair. They didn't leave on account of the hazards. They left on account of their cowardice. The hazards just gave them a reason to put to paper.
Sharp as ever, Nyoka. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our
Bye,
leadership
Messi.
at the time certainly wanted to, but there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not
Donc en gros,
productive workers.
les entreprises ont quitté Monarch parce que ça rapportait pas. Du coup, MSI est resté en se disant, si j'ai le monopole, je pourrais en faire quelque chose.
That's what being a community means. Treating people right because it's the right
Et du
thing
coup,
to
ils sont
do.
restés.
Here, here.
C'est
That
pas
may
très
not be
clair
how
hein,
colony
comment c'est
works, but it
expliqué.
damn well oughta.
Il y a beaucoup de blabla qui tourne
A
autour du
noble
pot,
thought,
quoi.
Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate
Comment faire
bylaws that
simple
would
quand on peut
allow
faire
MSI to
compliqué, hein?
claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out,
Voilà,
creating
exactement
the
ce que je viens de
perfect
dire.
environment for us to enact these new reforms. Oh, well, there were surely other junior executives with more open minds, though none of them had the temperament to handle the paperwork. But I was keeping my tone flat and maintaining eye contact. You weren't supposed to notice I was avoiding the subject.
This is why you've never been good with presentations, sir.
Very well. Many, many years ago, Graham Bryant and I used to be collaborators, of sorts. Graham Bryant. He leads a group of extremists out in Amber Heights. But he used to be as much a part of the corporate machinery as any of us. Much as he likes to forget it.
Oh, que de dialogue!
Indeed, for all the good it did. MSI's then leadership wasn't enthusiastic. They insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2. Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet.
Ouais, voilà ce que j'ai dit. En fait, vous étiez les derniers à partir et du coup, la planète vous est revenue, quoi.
And began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
Pourquoi ferait-il une chose pareille?
I don't know. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
Pourquoi voulez-vous réintégrer le conseil?
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Yeah, that'd go a long way toward rebuilding our homes.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation.
Moi, je pense que tout est mieux que ce joug capitaliste.
I fear the MSI citizens who've been dissolved into Raptidon Cud would disagree with you. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to
Oh,
pursue.
qu'il est bavard!
Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes,
Le Bolt 52, c'est
it
ça?
will be easier to explain
Le
once we
Bolt
have the Vault
52,
52.
Bolt 52.
My hope is to
Je vais me faire une
maintain the
clope, moi, parce que ça
reforms
dure
we've
trop
managed
longtemps,
here,
là.
and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
It's straight bullshit is what it is. A fabrication rich folks use to preserve their investments, by leaving a lot of people here to die slow.
Nyoka has the right of it.
Ça finit
It's a
jamais, ou
legal
quoi?
provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
But wait, what happens to the folks stuck on the wrong side of dangerous?
Well, I'm afraid the welfare of a few hundred people is too minor a figure into the board's
Petit
business
Ricola, là.
decisions.
Ça enregistre? Ça fait 15 minutes qu'il parle.
Monarch may be dangerous, but it's hardly the wasteland the board describes it to be. Whatever the board's goals, the greater good has little part in them.
Bah ça, c'est pas nouveau, hein.
As far as I'm concerned, the less said about Graham, the better. Graham seemed like a reasonable man years ago. And we both agreed that MSI's treatment of its workers was untenable. I thought reforms would be enough. I didn't realize you wanted to abolish the corporate system entirely.
Bon, moi, je vous propose qu'on enchaîne et qu'on aille voir l'informateur. Ou alors, non, il faut mieux faire les quêtes annexes quand même, sinon on n'aura pas assez d'XP.
What can I do for you?
Juste quand j'allume ma clope, il arrête de parler. Et toi, je voulais te parler aussi.
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today? You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago.
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid. Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or so I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the I couldn't. What if he says no? Hey, maybe you could ask him for me. I mean, a no would still be bad, but it won't be quite as embarrassing if you ask. Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work. He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises. Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
Niveau su. Bon, là j'ai 72, ça me paraît suffisant pour l'instant. On va monter la défense à 20. Ok, donc on a la parade. Technologie, médecine. Je lis, hein. Ouais. Ça, c'est pas trop mal. Leadership, on va s'en passer pour l'instant. Je vais monter la défense. Ah, si, je l'ai fait déjà. Je vais la monter encore un peu. Corps à corps, j'en ai pas besoin. On va essayer de tout monter à 50 en fait. On va monter la fufu pour l'instant. On va essayer de tout monter à 50 et après on verra. Bon, alors qu'est-ce que j'ai vu d'intéressant là? Capacité de transport plus 40 kg, poids des consommables, santé restaurée pour chaque ennemi tué. Ça c'est sympa. Tuer un ennemi réduit le temps de rechargement restant d'une capacité de compagnon. C'est sympa. 25% de chance de recharger la capacité d'un compagnon lorsque vous utilisez celle de l'autre compagnon. Je vais prendre ça. Ouais, comment dire, les perks sont pas aussi excitants que dans Fallout. Bon, il est où l'entrepôt Il y a un autre bar. Ah oui, il fallait qu'on cherche un indice. Alors l'indice, il est où l'indice? Il a été assommé avec une casserole. C'est ça. C'est un indice, ça? Parler à Velma, convaincre Velma de négocier. Ça, c'est sur le précurseur. Ça, c'est sur Monarque. Sur l'autre planète. Ça, c'est d'autres planètes. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres indices? C'est pas vraiment une valise, c'est plutôt un sac. Ah, là. Oh, d'accord, je vois. Il y avait des dettes de jeu. Je vois un truc. Ok. Ok. Bon. Allons voir Velma. Oui, je me suis fait chier à améliorer mon arme pour rien, quoi. Il est où l'entrepôt de Sauton, là? C'est là? On va mettre... Ok, c'est ce grand bâtiment, là.
Smells like wrapped in here.
Oh, it does work. I bought some musk from Sebastian to cover up the saltine smell.
Trust me, this is worse.
Bonjour, je cherche Velma.
If you want to talk to the boss, she's in the back of the warehouse.
Hey,
Ça
Velma,
doit
I
être
got your
elle.
cannabinoid pills.
You're probably looking for Velma. Watch out, she's
Hope
in the
Abigail
mood.
didn't give you a hard time.
Wouldn't mind smelling
the
like
usual.
Saltuna if we could sell
Anywhere
more
on
of it.
Braxton?
Nothing. Don't know how much longer I can cover for him either. Give me those pills, will you?
Here you go.
Ah,
You
celle
might
qui parle.
consider a real night's sleep instead.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry. Did she now? Well, I can see I was mistaken. Because if Catherine really had sent you, there'd be a lot more expletives in your message. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
Parlons un peu de Caleb.
Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say.
Caleb dit qu'ils ont besoin d'une augmentation pour compenser l'inflation des prix.
Tell him to complain to Catherine in Fallbrook, not me. Sublight's demanding more money for the same contracts, which means we're all in the same boat. Hard workers? They turn dials and flip switches. The machines do all the actual work.
I'll wager she don't pay those folks that maintain the mechanicals decent neither.
Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone else around here, I'll tell you that much. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate.
Bon, on va mentir, allez.
Same thing as me. Where's your proof? Because I know no one's been poking around my terminal lately.
Elle me dit ce que je dois
I'm in the
faire.
wrong business if a woman this dense can get away with robbing her company.
Just as a hypothetical. Nothing to see on my terminal, of course. Because I've done nothing wrong. For running me ragged while he takes an extended leave at the bar? Not on your life. Maybe so. But I bet you Caleb runs out of bits first. Then he'll have to come back. He says he's got a stash to tide his crew over. Could be he's all talk, but if the money's real,
Non, moi je suis pour
I
Caleb.
bet you he keeps it at home. Near the
Caleb
diner.
follow Will.
You'd steal from your own people? That's low, ma'am.
Bah, c'est comme ça
That's
que ça marche,
business.
non?
Someone's got to keep the lights on. Fine by me.
On parlera plus tard. Je vais voir où il est dans ce... C'est intéressant. C'est terminal. Pourquoi ça brille et pourquoi c'est rouge de feu? On dirait qu'elle la lave. Oh là là. Ah, c'est une poissonnerie. Il me semble qu'il y a un secret ici. Oui, il y aura un passage souterrain, là. Dans une quête. Ça servira pour une autre quête. Retrouvons le terminal. Il doit être en haut. Ah non. Il me regarde comme si j'étais le Messie, quoi. Ici, peut-être? Bonjour.
Wouldn't mind smelling like saltuna if we could sell more of it.
Je te comprends. La salle des pauses. Chiottes. Ah, il y avait un escalier. Ça, c'est le bureau de la contremaître. Ok, cool. Je commence à en avoir plus trop décroché.
Nicely done.
Tout ça pour pas grand chose. Ils trouvent pas d'acheteur pour leurs poissons, leurs sautons. On va lui reparler. Comme elle est débile, elle va nous donner le mot de passe. Youhou! Ah!
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Who spat in your spirits, Velma?
You noticed my mood? I'm surprised you can see straight today.
I could be seeing triple and I'd still think you're being unkind. I just might find it funnier.
Will you try wrangling half a ton of dead fish with decades-old equipment and see what it does for your disposition? Anyway, what do you folks need? Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a ground six spacer. Something else on your mind? Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra jugs he's been taking from supply. Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts. We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap
Pas
enough.
mal.
And Braxton knows how to get the salt tuna, fat, and mostly tumor-free. Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. Fine by me.
Bon, mais on va retourner voir Caleb. Et on va lui dire que la négociation s'annonce mal. Alors, il était où, Caleb? De ce côté, là. Ouais, c'était là. C'est toi, hein?
Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with us?
By the smell, he's been reveling enough for you both already.
Sure thing. What did you want to discuss? Nope. I'm calling her bluff. If she wants to threaten us, we'll see how she likes it when Sanjar finds out she gave Sublight even more dominion in Stellar Bay.
Bon, on peut essayer ça.
I never meant to call for anyone's head on a pike. Velma's not my favorite person, but she ain't been cruel to us. Devil it all. Now you got me feeling sorry for her. Fine. I guess we'll go back to work to save Velma's job. We'll find a better time to negotiate our wages. Tell Velma not to worry. We'll look out for her.
C'est pas ce que je voulais faire, mais bon.
It'll be good to get some steady pay again.
Bon, qu'est-ce qu'on a à faire? Moi, je propose qu'on fasse la quête principale. Hein. Ok, plein sud. Donc, par là. Non, on va faire les petites quêtes. Histoire de faire un épisode complet. Bon, je suis pas au bon endroit. Là. Plus de ce côté. Ouais, ça va, la ville est quand même assez grande. Il y a elle aussi.
Ma'am, please, I need your help. I can pay. Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy
Ils ont tous des problèmes de peau.
eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back.
Tucker.
He ran away.
Tucker, c'est le mec dans Marie à tout prix.
Oh, I just
Il
know
s'appelle
a
Tucker.
rapidon is melting him with
Oui, je sais, c'est une vieille référence. Une référence années 90.
Don't you tell me to calm down. I promised my boy I'd protect him for always. But how can I keep him safe if he's run away? He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the raptor.
Encore une fois, une friche, c'est pas ça, mais bon.
The toxic sulfur pools and poisonous plants, but he didn't listen.
Oh, law, Captain. A youngster won't last long in a place like this. Please, can't we help?
You ain't wrong, but if he hasn't made it to Amber Heights by now, there's no saving him.
Please, won't you go and find my boy? He's been pining for an adventure. Says he's tired of living cooped up behind the walls. But he doesn't understand how dangerous it is out there. I warned him. A raptidon would snap him up first chance it got. I just know one's ripped his arm off and is gnawing on his sweet little fingers. He should have listened to his mama. Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it. And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouths. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral.
Bon, encore une quête supplémentaire, mais combien ça fait de temps là? Ok, on a 10 minutes.
What do you think you're doing? All right.
Je vole, simplement.
What was it like in Edgewater? I hear you workers were on the clock every available moment.
We always got 8 hours a day for sleeping.
What do you think you're doing?
Carry on.
Ah, c'est Sébastien.
Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in Raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails? You look like a woman who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts.
Sebastian, you ever get your hands on those pheromone sacs? Manipillars ain't gonna hunt themselves, you know.
I must have hunted a dozen, but I couldn't find a single sack on any of them. Must be looking in the wrong place.
Manipillars ain't got pheromone sacs. I just told him that so he'd stop asking me for advice.
At least I'm getting a good haul of claws in the process. You're in good hands, traveling with Monarch's top merc. Still, if you want any rat glands or manticlaws, I've got you covered. Oh, good. Celia hasn't come by in a few days, so I haven't sold much.
Viande de Raptidon, chutine de menthe. Allez savoir ce que Céleste compte en faire. Bon, ça m'intéresse pas. Moi, je veux vendre. Celui-là, je l'ai déjà. Celui-là, je le garde. Tenue de laboratoire, je le garde. Une salle. Qu'est-ce que tu racontes à part ça?
You look like a woman who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts. Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that Raptidon acid is working out. I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff. Nice of you to say. I like her too. And I gotta admire anyone with her passion for canid hides. But you don't have to butter me up. Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm?
Oh, no, that's not it at all. She's smitten with you. You smited her. Smote? Smoot?
Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for Raptidon tongues. You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice.
Give her a chance. Give yourself a chance. Take her someplace nice.
Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice.
Chef Raymond, il y a un petit problème avec le chef Raymond. Je l'ai tué en fait.
That's the spirit, Sebastian. Be yourself. Between you and me, Captain, I'm not sure Miss Celia knows him too well, but we can hope, right? I want them to be happy.
Bon, ça c'est fait. T'as autre chose à dire?
You look like a woman who's looking... I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested.
Je sais pas qui
so
c'est, Madame
maybe
Pickett.
I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center outside Edgewater. He had this grand idea to make it a museum for halcyon life. As my dad told it, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a manta queen for the last display. He left the Vale, gosh, years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Manta queens, especially.
I kept telling him
moi, j'ai pas trop aimé les Manti Queens.
Anyone looking to get familiar with a queen is liable to become the bitch's supper.
Oh my. Well, I hope he's all right. Haven't seen him in a while.
Encore une quête.
Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss him.
Non, mais c'est pas la peine. Vas-y, dis-moi.
Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
Captain, can we look for him? I feel awful.
Non, c'est ça, tu rêves. Oui, on n'est pas assez fort.
Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair?
Thanks, Captain.
All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins.
Past the ruins? That's Manta territory, all right. My professional opinion is that we leave that idiot to his
Ouais, non, non, on va pas tuer
fate.
une menthe régalienne.
No offense.
On n'est pas
Last
assez
Manta
fort.
Queen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Miss...
Donc qu'est-ce qu'on avait d'autre à faire? Aller à l'appartement, oui, d'accord. C'est sur ma gauche. L'appartement de Monsieur Braxton. Qu'est-ce que c'est rococo alors? Toi tu parles? Non, lui il dit rien. Alors c'est lequel appartement? On va tous les fouiller. C'est vous Braxton?
We don't get many outsiders.
On a déjà vu ça. L'autre, c'est celui où il y a eu le meurtre. On va trouver ça. Ok, donc on a un indice. On est en haut.
What's that smell coming out of Celia's apartment?
Probably whatever she bought from that guy who sells animal parts.
Cool, on va pouvoir décorer notre vaisseau.
Hey, I saw that. What do you think you're doing? I don't have time for this.
Je vole des trucs. C'est vous, Célia? Elle est debout, là. Elle fait que dormir, ça, là. Elle travaille pas. Bon, y a rien. Ok, c'est toi qui nous as parlé la dernière fois, mais sans rien nous dire.
You again! You've really got to stop doing that!
Ouais, c'est moi. C'est encore moi. Ouais. Tu m'as reconnu.
Braxton. I've never even heard of a Braxton. Got nothing for you, sorry. Oh, in that case, he told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
Poor fella. Hope he's okay. We should hurry, Captain.
Bon, ok, on va finir cette quête. On va aller revoir Selma, là. C'est quel bâtiment, déjà? Et on va prendre la porte sud, parce qu'apparemment, tout nous amène à la porte sud, quoi. Ça, la porte sud? Non, ça, c'est la porte ouest. C'est tellement grand que j'arrive à me perdre. Voilà. Ah, toast ball betting. Bonjour.
Nice to see Nyoka on the mend.
Bonjour.
Ooh, you're the new face.
Nell.
Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games.
Non, pas du tout.
So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial H Mammoths. Everyone needs a good diversion. That's what keeps you from thinking about the marauders outside town. The Raptidons chewing at the walls.
Ouais, c'est bien vrai, ouais.
Tossball's just about the only good news we get around here. When our frequency's not too clogged up anyway.
Abandoned.
So, what can I do for you? Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth. Right. So the thing with Isaac is he didn't know where to stop. He'd get stuck on something, and he just couldn't let it go. Sometimes he'd drink purpleberry punch by the leader. Other times he'd keep betting on a losing team. I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them. Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Ok, derrière le yacht club. Le yacht. Je sais qu'on dit un yacht, mais... Yacht.
I hear those rich people in Byzantium pay a handsome bit for rap musk.
On va parler à Velma. Puis on va aller les voir. Bon, c'est bon, j'ai réintégré les...
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Gosh, this old girl's in a rough way. Even old Bess in Edgewater was in better shape than this.
Hey, you want to try running a cannery with obsolete machinery? You be my guest.
Sorry, ma'am. I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just your flanging apparatus isn't making a strong flange, so your sealer isn't sealing right, and...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Huh. I'll have to try that. Anyway, what do you folks need? Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got sweetest words I've heard all day. Thanks for your help. You've gotten me out of a tight spot here. Take this for your efforts. Honest work deserves honest pay.
Il pourrait nous montrer ce que c'est.
Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the stereobiotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton. We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed.
Voilà.
Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to...
D'accord, ferme-la maintenant. Retournons au Yacht Club. Qui est donc... juste là. Donc les bullies, ça doit être eux.
I wonder sometimes what they're doing on other colonies.
We don't get many outsiders.
Non, c'est résident.
Watch your step if you venture outside.
Following the same thought process.
Mm-hmm.
You're not listening to a word, are you?
Hey, that's against regulation. What do you think you're doing? I don't have time for this.
Faire le tour. En fait, j'avais galéré sur cette mission la première fois. Il faut faire le tour et c'est derrière le bar.
You ever been off Monarch, Mioka? Before you met the captain, I mean.
Nah, I mostly just drank and hunted. As soon as you stop to dream of other things, that'll be the day something sneaks up and eats you.
Voilà, c'est là.
Don't fret.
On va faire une sauvegarde parce qu'il peut y avoir un combat. Et je pense qu'on va même arrêter là, parce qu'il y en a pour 2 épisodes.
Well, I'll be damned. You watch my back, I'll watch yours.
Ils y sont.
This will be fun. You picked the wrong damn day.